people in our region may not know there's an NBA Hall of Famer who played his college basketball at West Virginia State University.
In this week's We the People, WSAZ's Jimmy Tracy went to Institute to profile a trailblazer in every sense of the word.
The statue of NASA pioneer Katherine Johnson looms large outside on the campus of West Virginia State University, but there's another one which is inside that is just as impressive, both figuratively and literally. We're talking about the one honoring Earl Lloyd, who was a star for the Yellow Jackets back in the late 1940s, but it's what happened in 1950, in fact, 75 years ago on Halloween night. That is such a milestone. He was the first African-American to play in an NBA game, the Washington Capitals. His accomplishments on the court don't end there. He was the first African-American to win an NBA title in 1955 with the Syracuse Nationals. After his playing days were done, he was the first African-American to be an assistant coach and then a head coach with the Detroit Pistons. Lloyd was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame 22 years ago. This statue in the lobby at the Walker Convocation Center was dedicated in 2014, with Lloyd passing away a year later. I chatted with Yellow Jackets head coach Brian Poor this week, who lauded the man along with a player and was known as the moon fixer while at state and the big cat in the pros.
But the human being that he was what was special to me. 2010, I was fortunate enough to be put in our Sports Hall of Fame here. I didn't invite Earl, but Earl showed up. But that's just the kind of guy he was. He cared about others so much. As in his home, there was not one picture, one trophy, one book, one ball, one anything that told you he played basketball, let alone that he was in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame and that he was the first black player to play in the NBA. He was just that humble. That he didn't talk about himself. He always cared about others and wanted to know how I was doing and how my family was doing. Say every time I think about him, I just think about the human being that he was. And one of his favorite lines was always, and he had these big old hands and a big old finger, and he waved that finger and he said, "Coach, always remember, keep the main thing the main thing." And so, you know, he said, don't let the outside distractions get involved. Keep the main thing, and stay focused. So that's probably my favorite saying from Earl.
How often do you say it?
Fairly often. Yeah.
And talk about great timing. The Earl Lloyd Classic is Friday and Saturday at Institute. Now, there are 4 games in total. Here are the ones involving the Yellow Jackets. They host Livingstone College Friday night and then Claflin University Saturday at 4. Now, once Lloyd was done with basketball, he spent decades as a community activist and ran programs for underprivileged youth that focused on teaching job skills. Earl Lloyd was definitely one of a kind. Let's go back to you now on the news desk.
Now, if you do go to a game at West Virginia State University, the Earl Lloyd statue, it's not hard to miss.
Yeah, it's just to the left as you walk in the main doors of the Walker Convocation Center, and it is larger than life. And by the way, if you'd like to check out today's We the People story again or watch our previous reports, you can scan the QR code you see there on the side of your screen. It'll take you to the We the People page on our website. It'll also show you all our This Day in History reports that I do each day.